Community energy is people in a community coming together to produce, to manage, to hopefully reduce the energy that they use.
It's very important for the life of the planet, for our progression as human beings. We need to link up the city as much as we can.
I think collective effort is always going to have the biggest impact.
What community energy gives you is people, is a way to actually take action at a meaningful scale.
That they can have their own piece of the story.
It just goes to show that it's wanted, it's needed.
Bristol Energy Cooperative was founded in 2011 by a group of people in Bristol who wanted to do something practical in the face of the climate crisis. Since then, we've invested in clean power and battery storage project, producing enough energy to power over 3,500 homes. Amazingly, those few people getting together 13 years ago, we're now powering over 30% of Bristol's solar generation. We've raised £15 million to make those investments, and we have reinvested £350,000 in communities. In the face of climate change, it's just such a huge and intimidating problem.
It is unbearably hot in India right now. The energy crisis.
It's really hard for individual people to just feel powerless. And I think a lot of people find it hard to face up to for that reason. So what community energy gives is people, is a way to actually take action at a meaningful scale. We've got a pipeline of projects that are getting ready to go across Bristol and the area, working with community organisations, higher education institutions, schools, local businesses, all of whom will benefit from that power, as well as the revenues and the benefits being fed back into the local community.
What inspires me mostly here about Empire Fighting Chance is the opportunity for young people to have a safe, trusted space that they can come to, be themselves, develop and grow, and hopefully leave here on a better path in life.
Coming for my last 4 years now, I reckon, something like that, and I've loved it ever since, really. I built friendships, and it's kind of like therapy for the brain, because as you're just hitting the bag constantly, it takes everything away from you and you're just focusing on getting through that 3 minutes on the bag.
I think places like this are so important because there isn't a lot of places like this at the moment. Young people these days, they face a number of struggles. So this is sort of an area where people can really sort of get to know themselves, get to know their potential, increase their sort of support network.
So we took over this building in 2014. This was the main inner city youth centre in Bristol, and through that redevelopment, it was about a £500,000 redevelopment, we had the option to partner with Bristol Energy Co-op and install these solar panels, which was a real bonus for us to have sustainable energy on site. We installed 76 solar panels on the roof, and I think it saves us over £1,000 a year at the moment, so it's a win-win.
I think it's vital, especially a big building like this as well, which does require a lot of power. I'm going to lead the way as much as we can and set a good example to anyone else in Bristol or across England. It's very important for the life of the planet, for our progression as human beings.
The transformation of Bristol Beacon has been a once-in-a-generation project. Our partnership with Bristol Energy Co-op came about as because of our capital transformation. We had an opportunity. We were talking about PV panels on the roof, and then the partnership presented itself. And obviously it works really well because it fits with our ethos as a charity and wanting to do good in the local community. And Bristol Energy Co-op obviously is wanting to do that as well with its investment projects. It allows us to have more renewables on the roof, and that's obviously what we want for the building as well. Yes, we run a role and we have the responsibility to get our own house in order, to reduce emissions, to do whatever we can as an organisation, but that also our function is to be a mouthpiece, to talk about climate justice, to talk about just transition, to talk about everybody doing their piece and making people feel enabled. And I think energy cooperatives offer that same opportunity to communities because they are talking and inspiring people to get involved. Everybody feels like they can have their own piece of the story.
Fantastic.
I got dragged into this just by being a swimmer here, and then when the council were going to close it because they said nobody used it, I was outraged. So it escalated and we had to become a charity and a limited company. So we've had to learn lots of skills and gather an army. It's just so important. It's a community hub, a knoll.
Hello, I'm Jackie, also known as Jubilee Jackie. It's not just a pool, it's a community. It's good for your health and mental health as well, because we have such fun, especially in the gym, our little gathering.
For me, it's just somewhere to go in the mornings, people to talk to. You know, we've got a lot of people who come here with depression, and it might be the only people that they see in a week. 10 years ago I was diagnosed with cancer, and I used it every day after that, and it's just one of them places when you get in, or swimming is anyway, where you can switch off and you can forget those bits and bobs that might be a bit wrong with you. And if you only forget it for an hour, it gives you the strength to go through the rest of the day. The benefit to people's health far outweighs the cost of this place, what it needs to be spent on it.
We've been looking at our strategy for how do we start to plan for our energy improvements, our energy efficiency, the sustainability of the pool as we look forward. We've got very old boilers, we've got very old systems. So we applied to Bristol Energy Co-op, and through the Megawatt Fund we were able to secure some funds to help us with 3 different things really. First one, we know we want to move to use solar energy. We want to use solar pipes and solar panels, and we know we've got the perfect roof for solar pipes, so we want to make advantage of that. So we've been able to use it to get a fully costed feasibility for that work, which helps us now to go forward to fundraise for that. What's been amazing is that once we've taken it on with the community, it's unleashed even more of that kind of passion and enthusiasm for this place as an asset, and it's a place where people come together, and the alternative was a boarded up building, no pool.
Investing in community energy is a way we can be thoughtful about what that does for the level of growing inequality that we're facing in our country. So it's not just about getting renewable energy built, it's about how we build it, who owns it, who makes the decisions, and who benefits from it, not just from the clean power, but also from the revenues from that investment getting fed back into local communities. It also helps reduce our energy bills. It helps reduce our dependence on what is feeling like a more and more volatile international market for oil and gas. So it's not just addressing the climate crisis, we're addressing the cost of living crisis as well.
We're really excited about what we can achieve over the next 2 years. Share offer is crucial, and it will enable us to invest in some really innovative and exciting projects, and that will have a tangible impact both on the local Bristol community, but also have a huge impact on tackling the climate crisis on a local and a national level.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for people to invest in environmental projects.
There's never been a more urgent time to invest in clean homegrown power. The climate crisis is upon us. The time to invest is now, and community energy is a direct way of getting involved in that. We're ready to go, and we'd love for you to join us.